was a software engineer at Walmart Labs, and then when I discovered the short-term rental, I was like, "This is it."
We did close to 50,000 bookings within the
Yeah.
first week.
Wow.
And now within first month, in first 4 weeks, we are over 100,000 in bookings. Our target is always to be in the top 1%. That's what we
Yeah.
figured out. For first long-term rental when we bought it, that was the game changer.
Welcome back, everyone, to the podcast on Client Success Spotlight. Today I have Tanya and Arjun. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
How are you, man?
Good. We were just talking a little earlier about our friend Kenny's podcast. Shout out to Cashflow Positive. And one of the things we were talking about is risk.
Mm-hmm.
The risk of getting lucky, especially in investing. Talk a little bit about your investing background. Like, did you guys do 401ks and IRAs too before real estate, or?
Yeah. Let me give a quick brief overview, like how we've been investing, and we tend to always split between like real estate and stocks, but we were very stocks heavy before we met, to be honest. And that's been bothering me. So we had one property in San Diego, but majorly was the other part of our wealth was in like half is in retirement accounts, the other was in regular stock brokerage accounts, which are taxable, pretty much buying, never selling kind of thing, living within our means and stuff. So for us, and we had one primary residence, we had a house or condo in San Diego that we sold off during end of COVID, which was a mistake looking back. But yeah, now we have decent investment that we keep towards like 401k and stocks, but real estate is just, especially the short-term rentals, since we started exploring, it's just a different ballgame.
So you said something in there, and I don't even know if you remember saying it, but you said that your concentration in stocks was scaring you. Was it in retirement accounts or like employee stock program? Like what was scaring you about it?
I think it was just too much liquid, and I think I saw during the COVID when everything went south, my 401ks are all time down and my stock accounts are all time. I was pretty much cash stripped. So I realized I never kept emergency fund. That was my number one. And then I realized I'm not diversified enough. I'm still not, to be honest. Like I'm working on it. But it was very heavily on the company I work for. I still invest in them heavily because I just believe in their mission. But yeah, it was a lot of employee stock, but we diversify in like something like VU or something like S&P 500 and total stock market funds.
Do you have a ratio or percentage in mind? I ask people this a lot. Like, if you could snap your fingers and half of your net worth is in the stock market and half of it's in real estate, or is there a certain percentage that's safe for you?
I think, yeah, 50-50. That's what we've been discussing. Yeah. Right now, it's not like I'm just thinking about my money invested, not what the real estate's worth.
Yeah.
But what equity I have. The biggest risk right now that I think is actually in our primary residence. We have so much equity because we got lucky, of course. During COVID, we took a risk. We were like, oh, let's try it out. And now I don't know what to do with this. So that's something we're figuring out. But yeah, if I could fingers, it's probably 50-50.
What was your educational background before you started buying real estate?
Yeah, do you want to go first? Maybe talk about it?
So I was a software engineer at Walmart Labs, and then when I discovered the short-term rental, I was like, "This is it. This is what I want to do, and this is what I see myself growing up in." So yeah, that's what I switched to, and he takes care majorly of the acquisition part. I take care of the development of the property part, and then scaling it out to the short-term rental market, and then handling the guests and all the things related to that. That's what I take care of. But the acquisition part is taken care by him majorly.
And which markets are you guys in?
Currently, we are in Hot Springs, Arkansas. We have one property that's already running over there. and we have a new property coming up in Newry, Maine.
Yeah.
The Hot Springs one, that's like a huge property, isn't it? Or is
Yeah,
it Maine?
it
Or are they
is.
both big?
We got really
Is.
lucky with that one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got lucky with the location, then we got lucky with the views of the property. We always believed in finding your what's the term for it? Moat.
Yeah,
Oh,
Moat. Yeah, it's called as moat. Yeah. So we always believe in finding the moat, and over here our moat was not just one, a cluster of few moats. I would say the location, the view, and the amenities. We try to incorporate the best of the best amenities over there, with ranging from pool, hot tub, cold plunge, barrel sauna, a state of the art game room with everything possible, and theater system, providing an ample amount of space for people to sleep in, and amazing interiors. Yeah.
do you find, or I guess part of your research, how do you feel about the Airbnb competition in Hot Springs or like a Maine compared
Yeah.
to that of a Smokies or a like a regular vacation rental market, I guess you would say?
I can probably talk about it a
Yeah.
bit
Go
more.
ahead.
I think Hot Spring is mature. I would say I was scared getting in
Mhm.
unless you have like your moat figured out and you can bring it forward. It would be very hard to compete. But it's not like Smokies. Like, hey, everyone's trying to figure out like cash flow. You would cash flow, but only if you're like if you're buying something inland. I don't think it's even a starting point. You have to be on the lake. You have to build something. Like it would take significant investment on top of whatever you buy. So
Mhm.
if you're okay with spending and bringing your like something different than what, like for example, we brought in cold plunge. No one has cold plunge
Yeah.
in the whole market, and we're getting rave reviews about this. Even in winters, like people want to use cold plunge.
Even our game room is great.
Yeah.
Like working like crazy because since it's winters, people are not spending that much time
In the
outside.
pool, yeah.
Game room is a big hit.
Yeah, that's became
It's a big hit.
hit. I can maybe give some insights. Like we launched week 1, we were doing I think we did close to 50,000 bookings within
Yeah.
the first week.
Wow.
The first week.
And now within first month, in first 4 weeks, we are over 100,000 in bookings. So our next summer is pretty much booked
Yeah.
without any reviews, nothing. We're doing
Yeah.
some social media
That's
marketing.
like that's literally without
Yeah.
any reviews.
We had 0 reviews. And so again, you have like there are enough big beautiful homes out there. Like there's this big company out there too. They do really good job. Like shout out to them. But I think we just want to build something unique. Like that's what we figured out for us.
I think more than all of the things that we provide in the house, I think the major differentiator for us has been the hospitality that we provide. Like we are there 24/7 available for if anything goes wrong, if the guest needs anything. We make sure that before the guest checks in, we ask them repeatedly if there's anything specific that they're coming in for, and I provide like a cookies, freshly baked cookies from like a local store every time and their guest enters in. So that the fragrance when they enter in, they feel like, wow, okay, these are like a freshly baked cookies that just been sourced only for them. So making them feel extra special, the hospitality, that is a game changer, which we feel is very important in the short-term rental market.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Take a step back to
Yeah.
your careers.
Yeah.
Both of you have worked a pretty stressful type of high demand.
Yes.
Yeah.
You went to school for, I would imagine, at least 4 years, if not 5, 6.
Yeah, I
And
can.
what was the mindset shift going from, you're taught to go to school so you can get a good job, so you can pay back the loans that you just took off, and then where along the way does real estate come into the picture?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. We'll try to unfold in different layers. So let me step back. Like when I went to the school, probably my journey, and I went to Purdue and went for computer science. I wanted to be a mechanical engineer because my dad was one. So I grew up around it, and my brother was like, "No, you got to do this. This is how you make money." So I was like, "Okay." Let me be inside an office, and I learned programming. It was back in 2008. So I think being in the top schools, top 10 was helpful and got me exposure to what you can do with technology. And we were not exposed to real estate at that point. And then I took my first job in San Diego out of college. And before that, I was very successful. Even in college, I went for a startup, which was sold later for multi-million dollars. I basically built them from scratch, and it was a pretty beautiful experience. And when I started my first job in San Diego, the first thing we figured out, like, there were a lot of foreclosure homes. This was back in 2012, and I'm like, why is that? So we ended up renting a house for like, which was sold for like 750,000, and a fellow Indian owned it, and he rented us for like $4,000 a month. And I'm like, that cash flow is crazy. And we started doing the numbers because we were literally living like a frat house, five of friends. It was a 7-bedroom house. We were enjoying it. And we were like, why don't we just all pool all the money? We don't have much money at the time, and we were in debt because of school fees and whatnot, right? We all were paying. But that's when I got the first exposure, like, hey, there is a path where you can make good cash flow. And I was only talking about long-term rentals. So a few years later, I think I bought my first condo in 2015 in San Diego. When I had zero money, I just paid off my loans from college. I took a debt to do the top, like, I think the first 15% down on my San Diego condo. But I was growing pretty fast in my career on the other side. So I was moving to New York while I was buying the condo. I knew that I would move out, but I still bought it because I knew it would appreciate pretty well, because San Diego was the top fast five cities which were growing really fast. And I almost sold it for double, which in retrospect I should never have. Like, just buy and just keep it unless you really need the money. I didn't. I invested in stock market, so it wasn't a bad thing. But I think in the long-term play, I should have just cashed out equity. Now what I know about real estate, and then invested that to build more wealth. As long as you can keep up with the debt, like you're not over leveraging yourself. Yeah, that's the key, I think. And I think that for first long-term rental, when we bought it, that was the game changer. I think that was like that click moment. Like, I still remember that condo. I went 6 a.m. to see that property. It got listed at 10 p.m. I was like, I need to buy this, because I got lost on offers. It was still like, how California is.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I need to get this, and I made the best offer I could, like pretty much asking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the case.
That was a good property. When we sold that property, it went out very good too.
Yeah,
there were like a lot of offers on that property.
Yeah, we got like, I think 9 offers. We were like, whoa.
Picking a bit rather than. Some of them wrote like beautiful letters also to us, describing why they want that house.
Are there similarities with the Hot Springs market and the Newry, Maine market?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think the summer market in the Newry is quite similar to the Hot Springs market.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's there. But we still have to discover the Newry market, because we are going to launch in next month, like in December.
Yeah.
We still are in discovery phase, but till now, how we have visited the Newry, it seems to be a little more upscale, a little more design oriented, and the competition seems to be a little more tougher over there, because everybody needs to have a barrel sauna over there, needs to have a hot tub. Pool is also one of the things that's now almost every house has it. But to differentiate from the competition in Newry, it's going to be a little bit more tougher, but we're up for the challenge, I think.
Yeah,
Do you want to add something?
Yeah, we're taking a very different approach, Ryan. Like, what we discovered. So for building the Hot Springs property, Tanya was there. Like, we turned the whole property around in 8 weeks. Like, building a pool from ground up and then turning all the amenities, everything. So we built a process, like we can literally apply it. Coming from engineering backgrounds, that's what we're trying to look for. And we did the same thing. Now we're thinking about Newry. We have to spread it out in 2 phases. So the first one is like focus on indoor amenities, because we want to hit the winter market right when we launch.
Yeah.
But our bigger plan is for the summer market. And we're trying to explore, like, hey, no one has a pickleball court. can we build a pickleball court for cheaper? Because with the Newry house, we just have, I think, about 8 acres of land. So we're like trying to figure out how we can leverage that to our advantage. Like, can we build something unique that we can, like, that can basically keep us out of the competition?
Mm-hmm.
Because our target is always to be in the top 1%. That's what we
Yeah.
figured out. Like, build for top 1%. Even buying one property here is totally fine. Like, I don't want to build like 20 properties. We want to get to a point where we can have very unique stays.
Mm-hmm. Would in the future, do you think you would invest in those markets again, or would you target other markets?
We want to diversify.
Yeah, we want to
Yeah,
diversify. We want to explore more markets.
Yeah, I don't want to compete with our own.
Asheville was
Yeah.
one of our major markets
Yeah, that
that we
was a
want
big
to
time.
invest in, but a little dicey about that right now because of the hurricane situation. But yeah, we're exploring new markets. Through your podcast itself, we
Yeah.
discovered Logan, Ohio. So yeah.
Because of what?
Logan, Ohio. No, I don't want to go there.
Ohio.
I mean, how you or Kenny or Bill Faith or anyone talks about it, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I think we want to buy Asheville just to buy from like Tyler because I really enjoyed working with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't find the right moment, and we found the Hot Springs one, so we jumped there. Otherwise, Asheville was our number one pick. And to work with Ishita over there, like, she's awesome. Like, Ishita and Harshad, like,
Yeah.
we're really looking forward to working with them. It's something like that we can do in Asheville. So I hope it rebounds, and maybe we can buy there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Asheville market rebounds and just the sentiment for people who own property there, but also like do tourists even want to come back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to be scared to come back?
I'll give you an example. It was I think it was our second booking or third. People were messaging us that they were like, "Hey, due to hurricane, we can't go to Asheville, so we're coming to Hot Springs, and we found your property."
Oh wow!
You said, I'm like, that's what we'll see because we launched. I think it was just sad, but at the same time, we launched that same week where the hurricane happened, and yeah, I mean, our first few bookings were like people coming from that side instead of
they
like,
were, like,
local, like
canceling
Arkansas
their
or
trips and
Texas.
everything.
Yeah.
Not what you had expected originally.
Mm-hmm. That was different.
Tough time.
How did you finance the two properties?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
That was so. I mean, we are leveraging second home loans pretty much right now, and we're building. I hope we're building a ton of equity, if not ton, like some equity while we're doing it.
Yeah, that's why we are fingers crossed, hoping for that.
So right now we're using a credit union that is really good at this and works well with how the debt financing I wanted. And I still have enough like credit debt ratio or DTI like to go over that I can buy a couple more, I guess, before I go like DSCR route, or if these properties generating cash flow, then I probably don't have to. But if I want to scale myself, then probably that route. But right now we're sticking to like second homes.
Yeah.
With I think we're doing 10% down both of them. And the products are pretty good. If you do under $1 million house or loans, then there is a PMI, but the rate of interest was spectacular. Like, it was much lower than any big banks I was getting, except US Bank. And then if you do over $1 million, then it's a higher APR, but you don't pay PMI.
Oh wow!
Even 10% down. So in retrospect, it almost comes down to a little bit higher, but I would say it's still pretty good. Like doing a 10% down.
That's one of the cool things about real estate is that you and I could buy the same exact house, but you could get a better deal than I do because you have a better realtor, a better bank, a better attorney, a better fill in the blank. And it's just like I don't know, in Congress, and it's supposed to be insider trading if you know what's going to happen to a company's stock before it happens. But in real estate, that's perfectly legal.
Yeah,
which is cool and kind of crazy.
I don't know if you call it insider trading in real estate, but I can see the comparison though. What are you making? it's more like one you have a way to negotiate, the other you don't. If the price
Yeah.
is what it is, you buy or you sell.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like Apple stock, if you and I pull up Apple stock right now, we're both going to see the same price. But
Right.
if we go to we could be looking at the same property, but you're going to get a better financing than I am, and the deal might pencil out for you and not me.
But there is still a catch though, right? Like if you think with the same example you said, if you're buying at the market price, you and I can get different pricing based on which stock pool we hit.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends which brokerage, unless you put a limit price, and that's sure. But yeah, it's deterministic. I think that's where you're getting at. It's not like gonna be leaps and bounds difference unless we're buying millions in stock.
Right. Do you guys believe that you're the people in your family that are going to change your family tree?
I don't know, man. That's
a deep question. That's a pretty deep question. We are hoping for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, my brother is an engineer too. I think when we came to US, like we pretty much paid our education. We didn't ask from our parents, and my dad got retired very early, and because of health issues and stuff. So we grew up all right. I think we were not like any problems, but yeah, I was not. But still, we grew up in India, right? So the economy is very different.
Also, we grew up in a humble background.
Yeah, we're very humble background.
Yeah.
So, but I think we were always given the mission to like go out there and build things. For us, it's less about the money and more about like doing things and growing. In the end, we look at numbers like once in 6 months, like, oh wow, this is good. But
yeah, I think both of us personally, on our personal goals, we both, what motivates us is not the money making. What motivates us like the journey of it, the fun and the thrill of it. When you were right there in Arkansas, working with the contractors day in day out, out there in the like deadly sun, fixing up the cameras, fixing up the lights, getting our hands dirty along with it. It felt good. It felt like you're creating some value. It felt like you're doing something good. So yeah, and looking at the it's a little bit of social angle also to it, I would say, when it comes to like helping people out and all our contractors and everybody, it felt like a family to us. They were so open. They discussed their pains. They discussed their families with us. Today itself, I was on a call with one of the contractors. He just texted me that we missed you guys around, and we want. He called me just to say hello, hi, how are you? I miss you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that feels good when you get the validation from the people that you work with. That's what I think we are fishing for in life. We like that.
I think that really, I think, lands home what Tanya just said. It makes us feel good, like doing it with the people and for the people and ourselves, of course. But building, like now it more towards like, can we build a team out of this? Can we build, because anyone I met, I think the hardest thing I've found in the short term is building a damn pool. Like I think you can do anything, but the moment you touch landscape, your budget can go really crazy high. That's what I found out. But if you have the right team, the right people, right things in motion, you can literally time it, right? Turn it around really quickly.
Yeah.
But
landscape and hardscape both are like
hardscapes.
pretty difficult.
Yeah. So that's what I think. Going back, I think we have so much digressed to your original question to the family tree, but yeah, I think it's the whole journey, man. We just enjoying it. Right, next 5 years, I have no idea, but I think for me, it's gonna be passive. For Tanya, it's gonna be more active.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just I'm not quitting my job. I enjoy what I do. This is also fun, but I really enjoy what I do in my day-to-day job.
Well, I can also say now that I enjoy what I do.
Yeah, not many people say that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Where can listeners of the podcast find you?
Oh,
we are there on the Airbnb and VRBO both. We can share the link with you.
You have a direct booking website too?
We are
building
on it,
one,
but if you DM us on Instagram, if you DM us on Facebook, we can do it for you. Like we can do it by ourselves, the direct booking. So we're there on the Instagram itself for the direct bookings.
Yeah. If you want to reach out personally, my IG handle is Arjun Basin 26. I'll just message you guys.
Yeah.
Be easy, and Tanya has her handle.
Yeah, but we have a property handle too. So do check it out. It's
Yeah.
American Spa, the American Spa. That's our property handle.
Yeah.
And we have all our reels and videos and photographs on that thing. Yeah.